While American P-51 Mustangs and B-17 Flying Fortresses dominated the skies in the later years, the German Luftwaffe started World War II with some of the most advanced and feared aircraft in the world, blitzing through Europe with speed and precision before being overwhelmed by sheer Allied numbers and production. Fighters. Messerschmitt Bf 109. The backbone of the Luftwaffe's fighter force, the most produced aircraft of the war, over 33,000 built. A single-engined monoplane with excellent speed and climb rate. It battled Spitfires in the Battle of Britain and escorted bombers across Europe, claiming more aerial kills than any other fighter. Focke-Wulf FW-190. Introduced in 1941 as a rugged radial-engined rival to the Bf-109, over 20,000 produced. Faster and more heavily armed in many variants, excelled as a fighter bomber on the Eastern Front and intercepted Allied bombers over Germany. Messerschmitt Me-110, twin-engined heavy fighter/destroyer, about 6,000 built. Intended for long-range escort and ground attack, effective early on but vulnerable to single-engine fighters later, often repurposed as a night fighter. Messerschmitt Me-262, the world's first operational jet fighter, around 1,400 built. Blazingly fast with four 30mm cannons, it hunted Allied bombers but arrived too late and in too few numbers to change the war's outcome. Dive bombers/ground attack. Junkers Ju-87 Stuka, iconic dive bomber with its screaming sirens for psychological terror, over 6,000 built. Deadly accurate in early blitzkrieg campaigns like Poland and France, became obsolete against strong air defenses by 1943. Junkers Ju-88, highly versatile twin-engined aircraft, over 15,000 built, one of the most produced. Served as a medium bomber, dive bomber, night fighter, and torpedo bomber, fast and adaptable across all fronts. Henkel HS-129, specialized twin-engined ground attack aircraft, armored heavily with powerful cannons to target Soviet tanks on the Eastern Front, tough but underpowered. Medium/level bombers. Henkel HE-111, main medium bomber early in the war, over 7,000 built. Twin-engine design used extensively in the Blitz and Battle of Britain, later shifted to transport and torpedo roles as it grew vulnerable. Dornier DO-17 Flying Pencil, slim, fast, twin-engined light or medium bomber, key in early campaigns but phased out by mid-war due to losses. Henkel HE-177 Greif, Germany's only operational heavy bomber, about 1,000 built. Four-engined, paired as two, long-range design plagued by engine issues, used for maritime patrols and late-war bombing. Transports/utility. Junkers Ju-52 Tantaju, corrugated skin tri-motor transport, over 4,800 built. The workhorse for airborne assaults like Crete and supply drops, reliable but slow and vulnerable. Messerschmitt Me-323 Gigant, massive powered glider or transport, carried troops and vehicles but was a sitting duck without escort. Reconnaissance/maritime. Focke-Wulf FW-200 Condor, four-engined long-range maritime patrol bomber, harassed Atlantic convoys early in the war. Arado AR-196 float plane catapult launched from warships like Bismarck for reconnaissance and spotting. Here's a rundown of all the aircraft carriers Germany planned, built, or attempted to convert during the war, none of which saw combat service. I've focused on the key World War II-era projects from historical records. Graf Zeppelin class. the flagship of Germany's carrier ambitions, laid down in 1936 and launched in 1938. This 33,550-ton vessel was designed to carry about 42 aircraft, including modified Messerschmitt Bf 109 fighters and Junkers Ju-87 dive bombers. Construction halted multiple times due to Luftwaffe chief Hermann Göring's resistance and wartime demands. It was scuttled in 1945 to avoid Soviet capture and later sunk as a target ship. Flugzeugträger B, Graf Zeppelin class, sometimes referred to as Peter Strasser, the unnamed sister ship to Graf Zeppelin, laid down in 1938 with similar specs for around 40 aircraft. Work stopped in 1940 amid steel shortages and fears of British raids, and the hull was scrapped that same year to repurpose materials for coastal defenses in occupied Norway. Weser, converted from Admiral Hipper-class cruiser Seydlitz, a makeshift auxiliary carrier conversion started in 1942 on the nearly complete heavy cruiser Seydlitz, renamed Weser, planned for 20 aircraft like Bf 109s and Ju-87s. About 75% done by mid-1943, it was abandoned due to escalating Allied bombings and U-boat priorities. The Hawk was scuttled in 1945 and later scrapped. Jade-class auxiliary carrier, converted from SS Potsdam. Begun in late 1942 as a quick conversion of the passenger liner Potsdam, this 12,700-ton ship was meant to haul 24 aircraft for convoy protection or raids. Work barely started before cancellation in early 1943. It reverted to troop transport duty and was sunk by a mine off the Dutch coast in May 1943. Elbe, Jade-class auxiliary carrier, converted from the liner Gneisenau, aimed for similar 24 aircraft capacity, but was halted just weeks after starting in December 1942. It survived the war as a troop ship and was seized by the British in 1946 for reparations. Aircraft Carrier 1, 1942, planned conversion of SS Europa. A proposed auxiliary carrier from the luxury liner Europa, eyed for 42 aircraft to support Atlantic operations. Deemed unstable and structurally unfit, the project was scrapped in late 1942 without any work. The ship was captured by U.S. forces in 1945 and used post-war. Aircraft Carrier 2, planned conversion of French cruiser de Grasse. Captured incomplete from France in 1940, this light cruiser was slated for conversion into a 23-aircraft carrier by mid-1942. Plans fizzled by early 1943 over labor shortages and design flaws. It was returned to France in 1945 and completed as an anti-aircraft cruiser.